A man was taking out his file when all of a sudden the cash in his pocket slipped out and scattered across the ground. An elderly man quietly saw everything. Without wasting a second, he gathered every single note and thought, his house is nearby. I'll return this money myself. And without another thought, he headed straight to the man's home. Meanwhile, a beggar walked past and noticed a shopping bag. He peeked inside. It was filled with valuable items. He paused for a moment, picked it up, and silently disappeared. The elderly man reached the house and knocked on the door. A woman answered. He asked, "Is the gentleman home?" She replied, "He's out. He'll be back in about an hour." The old man handed her the money and said, "These notes fell this morning. Please give them to him." Then, quietly, he walked away. A little later, the man returned home and caught his wife counting the cash. The moment she saw him, she panicked and quickly hid every note. When he asked about dinner, she told him to freshen up while she cooked, but he replied, "No, I'll eat outside." Then he walked out again. The elderly man returned to his spot and suddenly stopped. All of his belongings were gone. Those items were his only source of income. Heartbroken, helpless, he sat quietly by the roadside. By chance, the same man passed by and asked, "Uncle, why are you sitting here looking so worried?" The elderly man replied, "I returned your money to your house this morning, but when I came back, all my belongings had disappeared." The man was shocked. "I never received any money." Then he said, "Do one thing for me, and I'll make up for your loss." The elderly man agreed immediately. Back at the house, the husband asked his wife, "Did anyone come here today?" She instantly replied, "No." At that very moment, he called out, "Uncle, please come inside." The elderly man walked in, and the woman's face turned pale. The husband confronted her angrily. She broke down in tears, admitted her mistake, and returned every single note. The man took the money, handed it to the elderly man, and said, "Your honesty saved me from a huge loss. Please keep this money." Then he gave him even more cash to replace everything he had lost. Tears of joy filled the elderly man's eyes. He blessed the man with all his heart and quietly walked away.